Hi guys,
Hello people,
I'm Milena,
I'm Lola.
and we're watching Black Sails 7, episode 7 of season 4.
Last season, only 3 episodes after this.
My friend Marco is starting to watch it.
Is he?
I don't know if he watched it last night because he finished the TV show that he was watching before, Scandal, and now
He finished that fast.
Yeah, I mean he watches fast. He's like either going somewhere to meet with somebody, or when he's home he's watching for 5 episodes. It's not like there is no time like you and me we're gonna scroll TikTok for 3 hours. That's never happened. I mean, I don't think he has TikTok, you know. So either when he's home, when he's alone, he's watching the entire day, or he's out the whole day. Just so you know, guys. That's how my friend Marco is.
I want to know if our friends know that we're just like randomly telling people about their lives.
Yeah, I told him how I'm gonna talk
about it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you probably in the next episode or something
how he feels about
how
it.
he feels
He's
about
not finished it before us.
Very possible.
We're gonna film this
when he's heard that it has like 8 episodes. He was like, why does somebody make 8 episodes? Because he's the guy who watches like 24 per season, you know.
We're watching this today, and we're only gonna watch Black Sails 2 more times.
2 more times, yes,
because we need to watch the last 2 together.
You never know. There is no...
Well, true. Maybe it's gonna be exhausting.
Maybe it's gonna be...
9 exhausting.
Exactly. Maybe it's gonna be exactly like season 3, you know, when Vane died.
Oh my god, that's
Nobody
true.
wants to watch the last episode.
That's true.
So I'm not sure, honestly. Tell us, guys, what you think if we should watch those 2 together.
I mean, I think they're gonna say yes, but like, is it gonna be realistically possible for us to do that?
Is it like a cliffhanger that like you cannot stop?
Yeah.
Or is it like an emotional episode, you know, that like... Is that a spoiler?
I don't think so. Every episode to me is emotional in some way.
You know, like, do we need time to relax, or do we need to watch the last episode?
Tell us your thoughts.
Yes,
I don't know.
Because the last episode, for example, I would watch the 7th one afterwards if we had time.
Really?
But like I remember when we stopped the episode, we said how exhausted we were, and then I told you I would like to watch the next episode.
Well, me too, but I feel like I'm just like emotionally checked out for that day.
Yeah.
Like that took everything out of me, and then I'm like, I can't.
That was one of my, let's say, is it wrong to say like favorite episodes?
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite episodes because Eleanor is, like I said, one of my favorite characters, honestly. So like
she died in that
she died, but like again, the way she died, the way that like those conversations in the past episode have concluded her story.
Yeah.
You know, everything just was perfect.
Yeah.
Like I can't say anything to it, you know?
Yeah.
So like I really loved it, even though it was very
sad,
emotional for me, honestly.
I agree. It made sense.
Yeah. Somebody agreed with me about Flint. Somebody also said that like he didn't feel like a character in the past season or something. No,
I mean I agree. Like again, whenever you have to, like, different seasons concentrate on different things, and like this season concentrated, let's say, more on John and like Maddie and all of that, and so like he was
present. That's the thing, because like he was present constantly, meaning the talk of him was present. What he is gonna do, what his it's like the aftermath of Flint, you know, like what he brings to the table.
Everything that has happened to him, we learned in season 2, and in season 2, and in season 3, he was with the aftermath of exactly what happened to Miranda.
That's what I want to say. So like,
what is Miranda?
Yeah,
Miranda.
That's what I want to say, because like it was more like what he brings, what Flint is, who he is, what he brings to the table or whatever. Yeah. But like I think even the absence of him is what makes it very good, in my opinion. It makes his story good, because now the scenes we have, you feel where he actually is.
Yeah.
You know, you can feel the difference between him and season 3. Like the difference is enormous in my opinion. It's very there, you know. It's very apparent. Yeah.
I agree completely.
So like I kind of even like it.
Yeah.
You know, that it was done that way.
A lot, like the most impactful storyline of his for me in this season was kind of his like relationship with Eleanor, in this like past 2 episodes, like what we've seen, like it really took me back to season 1.
But also I enjoy his relationship with John, but from his side again.
Yeah.
Because again, somehow I'm more emotionally involved to that side. So like for him to tell everything to John, to be completely vulnerable to John.
You learned.
Because you told me how to...
Just like to ignore the L.
Ignore the L. That was the problem the entire time. To be completely vulnerable with John, you know,
now
open.
almost
Vulnerable.
Everyone's gonna just be vulnerable.
It just makes sense. It just... that part was also very emotional for me, very impactful for me, because that is actually maybe the reason that like he put a part of that on somebody else as well, you know what I mean?
Like she shared it.
Yeah, he shared it, so like...
He lessened the burden.
Exactly.
That's why it's 2 of us.
One does not how to talk.
One cannot finish a sentence. But like together we can manage it. I feel like I sometimes overcomplicate things and then you're just like, what do you mean this and this? And I'm like, yeah. I just said it in too many words. I really enjoyed Flynn in this season, however much we had him. Again, I think,
especially
understandably,
now, when I see where he is.
Things need to, it makes sense that he needs to take like a back seat sometimes because other storylines take precedence and everything, like just shows function that way. But I was very happy to see him as well, like a bit more of him in the past episode.
Especially, especially the way that we... Like,
the reason why we saw him.
Yeah.
Where we left it off, basically... Maddie is like kind of dead, but like realistically she is not dead. I just don't know where she is.
I mean,
like
she's still on Nassau, while we also have at the same time we came to the island, you know.
Is there a name of the island? Because we just keep saying the island.
I think everybody knows because there is one island, you know. It's not like there is 5. Nassau is Nassau.
Yeah.
There is the island, and we found out that like pirates and
other marooned
places, slaves have heard that Nassau has fallen and have come to fight. And at the same time, we had Max and John. Max who told John that they need to go back. John.
He is John.
Exactly.
You're correct about that.
They need to go back, and now they went to Eleanor's spot.
I don't know how that's supposed to transpire, honestly. Eleanor's grandfather.
What do you mean?
How is
it's
that
gonna
supposed
happen.
to... I mean,
we're just gonna have that at the end.
I think it's very fucking poetic that like Nassau is like the place where we make our stands against
I feel like
the powers that be. That's
the
beautiful.
Thing is, I feel like it would not be that hard to convince him, because like he is the one who wants like civilization and right. His grandfather, that's why Eleanor was like, he would never give anything to us because we were pirates, we weren't...
Yeah, no, they're coming on behalf of pirates.
Yes, but like, they're coming because that civilization basically betrayed them. Like...
And killed Eleanor.
Sure, it makes sense, because Max and Eleanor worked with them.
I don't think her grandfather cares about her. Like, I don't think that he is gonna do it because he's so hurt that she has... died. He might be like, maybe because like it's gonna look bad in society that he let it happen. I don't think he like is a loving person.
Then I don't...
It doesn't seem like, because like when Eleanor wanted to go to him, it's like she went because like, oh, my grandfather, he wants to help me, he loves me or whatever. I don't know. I don't know, honestly, because like if he has no sympathy for her and for what has been done to her by society, like then I don't see the reason why he would come. I mean, again, I don't know, man. Maybe he surprises me. I don't know. I mean, I know his son. You know, that doesn't bode well for him. But like I know his
granddaughter.
I know his granddaughter that was left by her father when she was young. So everything that she has become was not because of him. You know what I mean? Like not influenced by him. And so like I'm gonna assume that her father is more like her grandfather.
And then that's not good.
That's what I mean. But again,
it doesn't have to be.
I could be surprised. I mean, maybe it's the grandfather from her mother's side. No, it's not.
I don't know.
I don't think it is. No, it's from her grandfather's side. From her father's side. I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, I think it's gonna be good.
Just because I think it's gonna be good, I'm trying to find the reason, and that reason is the only reason that like I can actually see happening. You know?
Because otherwise, why would he help us? He would have no fucking reason to go against civilization.
Yeah. Unless the civilization basically betrayed his daughter, who
Yeah, but like he is still the one that's living amongst civilization, and so like he's not gonna wage war against. He would wage war against it if he loved his grandchild. But
That's
I
the only.
don't
That's
think
that's what I
he-
say. That's the only reason, especially because her daughter, his daughter.
Like if you love your grandchild and you hear that your son has left your grandchild in this fucking NASA or whatever, in what universe do you not like tell him go fucking get him?
God. Let's stop
Talking too much
talking.
about it.
Literally, let's.
I
stop
just
talking.
don't know
This
how
is
we're gonna
so-
do it. We don't
Yeah,
have
we're
time.
gonna
We don't have
see
that
for
much
the love of
time.
God. We don't have much time.
Let's-
We've been talking. Let's
see
play
this,
the episode.
guys.
Literally.
You're waving.
Heard that Nassau had fallen, and so they came to join us.
Oh.
Promise has begun.
Two prettiest people, in my opinion, in this show. Let me just tell you.
But like the queen is just majestic.
No, there is
The
no
queen,
one
like
her,
the
yeah.
Flint is so. God, what a beautiful man. But like the queen is.
Yeah.
It seems like she is above all of us somehow.
yeah.
And like we're all
Yeah.
peasants.
Yeah,
And
I
Flint
agree.
is the prettiest of all the peasants, but like she is still above him. So I don't know, she just looks incredible.
I completely agree. But still, with Flint, there is so much love there. So like, even if it was, he was like 10, now he's
15.
25. You know what I mean? Like, so even if he is a peasant, the love that I feel for him makes
Yeah.
him more beautiful.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
especially with the basket. Basket.
Buzzcut. I
Oh my
promise
God.
you she's alive.
Oh my God.
You just don't know it,
Oh
but
my God.
I know it. I feel
can't start
it.
this episode like this.
Oh God, she lost her husband and her daughter for
I can't.
fucking
I
what?
can't. I can't. I can't. This is the. I can't. Do you know?
I wasn't able to say goodbye to her.
This is very emotional to me. Imagine if I thought that she was dead.
I
I would die right
myself.
now.
Close. She was able to see it. Before she died. And she was fighting for something she believed in. When she died.
I don't know. If I were her mother, I don't know how I would survive this, honestly.
Knew her well.
I loved her. I believe she loved me.
They're both,
And you're gonna have the whole time to love each other. Stop it.
they went through the same thing. She thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Now it's his time.
Yeah. Look at him. No, these people
Hey,
around
you-
him don't exist.
Like he's just so visible. Like I don't know. My eyes immediately go there. Oh my God! Hello, old people.
No one's at each other's throats yet here.
Yet.
Whatever the difference is, everyone is here to be part of ending colonial rule in the new world. As long as that's a possibility, no one wants to be the one to spoil the chance. How is she? She's breathing. How are you?
I'm breathing.
We could seize the town within a day.
If you take St. Anne's, you'll starve Bridgetown. She wouldn't last a month.
And Barbados is just taller.
Oh.
With Bridgetown as a staging ground, how many men could you muster to move to the mainland? 700? Maybe 8. If we could recruit 1 slave in 3 in Barbados, that's 1,200 men. We could land anywhere we chose, with ships to support the
A
landing.
lot.
That's roughly what Morgan had in Panama. It might just be enough for us to sack Boston. Boston?
Boston? What?
Fools.
Oh, Julius is here.
You're all fools if you think this road leads to where it says it does. What happens when our enemy realizes that all it needs to do to defeat us is to take away that common cause? Turn one against the other. And when that happens, as it is all but certain to do, which of us standing here are likely to be the ones who benefit and which the ones sold back into their chains?
And what the fuck are you doing here? But what's happening here is going to happen. This war is going to begin. This camp is going to fight it. With or without you.
He's like, I have nothing to lose now.
Yeah.
I'm going all in on this war.
I may call you a king. but only in the kingdom that is no more. We're all free men here, and I wish to stay that way.
As do we all.
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, my. Oh, yeah.
Hand, okay.
Ah.
Yeah, she
Yeah, I mean, she
destroyed
grabbed
her hands.
Andrej must see you, girl.
For the Delaware. He may be arriving soon.
Delaware.
I'll be there in a minute.
That's right. I was terrified, honestly. I was like,
Oh,
get the fuck
don't
out.
push it. Like, don't
Yeah.
push. She told you leave.
Maybe
You
when
fucking
she's-
leave.
Maybe when she's well enough to walk, you know.
Since we set sail.
You told her not. Was that like I wanted her to come back? And
Fuck off.
I didn't mean it.
She told me she had my apology
That was.
for what she's done.
That's what I want to say. Maybe if she has something more to say than that.
Part of me wanted to lash out. Refuses to make it right.
And the other part?
The other part. How easy it would have been for her to lie. Say she was sorry when she ain't.
But like, sorry doesn't
Literally, she
mean.
should be sorry.
Sorry
for the love of
doesn't mean
God.
that you will not do it again.
You told her not to come back down there.
You have plenty of time to murder her another day. Right now, you need to rest.
Love them.
Like, you can't afford also emotional turmoil in this moment, my girl. Like, let's get you physically strong, and then we can figure things out. What does sorry mean to other people? Because, like, sometimes it doesn't mean, like, I wouldn't have done it. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't have another choice for me.
Yeah, but
Sorry
like, I'm
for that.
sorry that you got
I'm
out
sorry that
her,
you-
that I
yes.
hurt you.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
I would still do the same thing, but, like, I'm sorry. Oh.
See, I'm not
Fucking no, I'm not sorry at all. I
I'm
cannot
sorry
believe.
that your has died because of
I'm sorry
her.
that Eleanor has died. Yes, I am not sorry that you're in pain.
No.
You asked to see me, my
Oh my god, that she's gonna tell him that she was pregnant. I kind of want him.
I kind of
want
yeah,
him
yeah,
to know.
Please.
They could have just lived a happy life had he done what she said, and yet he couldn't. So.
I cannot imagine what sort of horror this is for you.
Boo fucking who?
Then maybe she's not gonna say it.
Please know,
That she was pregnant.
to extent there could be any doubt. The choices she made in recent days were made out of concern for you.
I feel like she's a mad.
Yeah.
With Governor Racha. Governor Racha assured me he had already written off the missing cash, the war effort being of paramount importance. But Captain Rackham, he said he'd never asked for Captain Rackham.
What?
You added that part. A convenient lie to placate her there and improve your own prospects for survival, didn't you?
What?
Didn't you?
Yes.
Trying
What?
to connect.
Eleanor turned her guns on me.
That's
Oh,
so
come
dramatic.
on, calm
of saying
down.
that.
Eleanor betrayed me.
Oh,
Fuck are you?
come
Oh
on.
my god.
Hunted Nassau out from under me.
I think he's lying to himself.
Sounded
Yeah.
Like anything would ever occur to her to do. Not her. Not after everything we've been through.
Now tell him she's pregnant.
You're blaming her. That's an interesting choice.
But if it had occurred first to someone else,
No, sir.
someone standing so close to her who could and
He
would
is a.
manipulate her to secure their own survival.
I know I did not.
He's gonna blame anyone except himself.
Why would I believe you?
But you'd asked to be notified when we were finished dressing the body.
What?
Oh my god, do you know?
Dressing the body, my lord. I don't know how to say it.
Leave.
Beg pardon.
Let him say it.
Now,
I'd
please.
be careful if I were you.
Mr.
Yes.
Ross, get out of this room.
Tell him.
Mrs. Hudson.
You don't want to hear what he's about to tell
No,
you.
he's definitely gonna wanna
Yeah.
know. Oh, I feel no
Yeah.
fucking empathy for
Like
him.
this. You don't want to hear about it this way.
You what?
Look at this. Dry eyes. Nothing. Choke. Delaware looks very cold.
3 shillings. It costs more to leave.
Yeah.
Trading fee, not trading anything, no matter, not negotiable. 6 weeks. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Voluntary contribution to the Society of Friends. 2 shillings. Non-negotiable. This is truly marvellous.
And we're the things.
Very good ones, apparently.
You know what to find Mr. Guthrie?
It is.
I have as much to gain and more to lose than any of us if we fail to see Governor Rogers removed. I believe I should be with you.
I'm sure you do. The last thing I need to overhear when Mr. Guthrie rejects our proposal is, Monsieur Constable, what kind of reward might one expect for aiding in the capture of notorious pirate captains, such as, say, Jacques Rackham? Is that much? What do you know? There he is. You stay here. I'll be back. You, let's go.
This is ridiculous, in my opinion.
I can no longer feel my balls.
They're gonna have to get Max. Max gonna be the one to convince.
Honestly, that's what I thought when she said, I don't shoot. Exactly.
And he is so fucking cute.
I adore him.
Featherstone.
When that animal Berenger was terrorizing her, threatening to kill her unless she agreed to name her connections with the resistance. She refused. She's not crossed anyone, to my knowledge, who hasn't first crossed her. Present company included. Jack.
I heard you.
Technically, Anne has not crossed her first.
I have fought alongside this man. But I did it so that I might find security. But what they are now arguing for does not sound like security to me.
There is no lasting security to be had here. We're fight to change that.
Nothing is lasting. But months, years, that is meaningful. And it can be had here. You now have the resources to have it here. There is a treasure in the ground here. You will purchase whatever is needed to survive.
No one has ever been this close. This near a chance to change the world.
No one changes the world. Not like this. Not all at once. The world is too strong for that.
I'm gonna love the scene. I feel it.
Look at his face.
I can't look at his face.
She died for this. She believed in this, and if it all goes away, then it was all for nothing.
He understands that.
Better than
I can't let
anybody.
this be for nothing. I just can't. It has to mean
Poor boy.
something.
When I was drowning up at Miranda, you helped me find my way out. Look at me. I will do the same for you. I give you my word. But in order to do that, you have to trust my judgment for a little while yours is reeling. Trust me.
He loves him. Yeah. He's in the worst position. I feel like I would rather go to war than talk in this room.
Is it true?
Hi.
Is it true
Which part?
that you've come from Nassau?
Why does she look a bit familiar?
You're a pirate.
I thought she was gonna say, is it true that you're a pirate?
Ah. I hear everyone knows everyone there. Even the giants. Will you tell me, did you know Edward Teach?
Imagine she says, did you also know Jack Rackham? He wants to be that name.
And Jack Rackham? Did you know him too? I heard a story that Jack Rackham outsmarted Captain Flint to capture a Spanish treasure galleon right out from under him.
Yeah. You him too. And believe it or not, that story is true.
What about Charles Vane?
Charles Vane was my closest friend in the world.
Tell me everything about him.
He was the bravest man I ever knew. Not without fear, just unwilling to let it diminish him. Loyal to a fault.
And in a world where honesty is so regularly and casually disregarded.
I heard he cut off a man's head and left it as a marker in the sand to anyone who would cross him.
Sure.
It's a little more complicated than that.
I heard. He sometimes butchered his enemies for amusement. Made stew of their flesh. He was truly an animal.
Stew?
Mm-hmm.
For what possible? I beg your pardon, but you believe this?
I read it in the newspaper.
Shocking.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Charles Vane was a good man. What I told you was the truth. Put down the newspapers and read a book.
Oh, I know the actress.
She's nearly as interesting.
Sorry, what's that?
I said the truth isn't nearly as interesting.
It's even more interesting, girl.
But I know the actress.
I need to see her again. She maybe looks familiar, but...
I think I know her maybe from Killing Eve, but maybe hundreds.
News of the Bahama Islands of some sort, Mr. What is it?
Rackham. I mean, he cannot say Rackham. Can you say Rackham? Are you not gonna be arrested?
Captain Jack Rackham.
Was he supposed to say this from the beginning?
Is that so? Your granddaughter Eleanor is dead. Governor Woods Rogers plotted with Spanish forces to help him quell a resistance movement on New Providence Island by razing it to the ground. And Eleanor was killed as a result.
If he was her mother's father,
yeah,
and her mother died because of the Spanish, that would have been a thing.
And find great commercial
Doesn't seem like
I don't know whose
Woods
father
Rogers
he
bears
is.
debts he cannot hope to repay. Given the ruin Nassau lies in, those debts could be purchased for a mere fraction of their value for pennies. You could own Woods Rogers and see him imprisoned. Meanwhile, while Nassau smoulders, her real property could be bought for a song. I bring you the chance, sir, to own the island, shape the regime that runs it, and do it all while seeing justice visited on your granddaughter's murderer.
No.
No.
No. To which part?
Well,
The
the offence to my family's name was done a long time ago by my son. He, his daughter, and all their efforts are parties to that offence, and are no longer a family of mine.
This is the people we're dealing with. Civilization.
She said no.
Max?
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. She's gonna turn around.
She's dead, isn't she?
Oh my god. She might care. Her grandmother?
Mother, I was about to say, yeah.
The news you bring about Eleanor. It's that she's dead, isn't it?
It is.
I know her, I know where from.
And who are you?
Her grandmother. Wait outside. I'll join you shortly.
Interesting.
If it's anything, it's women in the family running things. Oh, where do I know her from? Now it's gonna annoy me.
I know her, I think, from Killing Eve. But like maybe something else more. I think she was in Killing Eve.
Oh my
Honestly,
god.
don't know. Whatever risks she took, what dangers she braved, they were all made out of love for you.
And you fucking didn't know that.
She saw a life with you and the child, and she was determined to deliver you all into it.
And you killed her.
Because there is little you wouldn't do.
I'd like a moment alone.
A little you wouldn't do. Like, compare the way that he loved her to the way Vane loved her.
Said it the second he said there is little he wouldn't do. There is nothing he wouldn't have done.
I mean, did he kill her father? Sure. Sure.
When they are on the same side. When she crossed him 10
they're
times.
They're now technically on the opposite sides. They were. But like, she really gave you...
Not really.
No reason
to
do this to her. Oh my god, no
terrifying.
girl, no
Oh
girl.
god, terrifying.
I don't want this to be my last sight of you.
Literally, this is terrifying.
Close your eyes right now. Oh my god, girl. I don't know who that is. That's not my Elena. Oh. Girl, thank God you died before knowing or thinking that he was who he was.
I beg your pardon.
He's gonna kill you.
I would never go into this room.
No, me neither. Unless
I
someone
don't
is
know
fucking
what-
attacking us directly. Him.
We need more-
Who is him?
Supply.
I like.
We're just waiting to find for them to find Maddie or something.
Yeah, because
The
like.
leader of the pirate militia. He surrendered himself.
Who is he?
Said he would only speak with you directly. He said he wanted to make
Oh.
a deal.
Oh!
Yeah, I was like, what
So I don't. How did I just
how did it
look?
took you, like, so long? We know the right one, but like
He's too bloodied. What are you gonna
Exactly.
do, my boy?
I'm afraid I may have fumbled my case then now, but the merits of it remain and exist well beyond revenge. If you could help me gain your husband's ear again, this time in private, outside the presence of those other
My
men.
husband's commercial interests have grown twelvefold in the past 3 years. Does that sound like something built by a man who would discard an opportunity as promising as this because of what the neighbours might think?
No, it doesn't.
So what does that tell you?
It tells me
You know when
The
you're in
puzzle?
class and you do not know
Yeah.
what the teacher wants you to tell.
either Joseph Guthrie is among the 10 luckiest men in the Americas, or that your husband's business is not entirely managed by your husband.
Telling you the
We
women
know
of this
which
family.
one.
I see merit to your proposal. I've yet to see your merit.
I can tell you his merit. He's my
Why don't you
favorite.
consider taking on a pirate as a partner like this?
In all the years the Guthrie family has had a relationship with Nassau, I imagine I'm the first pirate to find his way to your ear. So either I'm the single luckiest pirate in all creation, or I'm of a different sort to the rest of them.
You are. He really is the best you can get here. In terms of like reason.
and goodness of his heart.
He is a businessman.
He told me to go fuck myself.
But
That does not sound good.
The business isn't his.
Eleanor's grandmother.
you know where she gets it from.
Interested. She advised me to return this evening to provide details of our proposal. Prove that we
Can you
can
go
trust
into
it to
somewhere
manage
where it's
Nassau.
warmer? I can't watch
What is
this.
wrong. I think you should come with me.
You do? Why?
Because our plan is ludicrous, by any sane measure. My suspicion is if she's going to say yes, it's going to be for emotional reasons rather than financial ones. She would look across the table and see a woman with some experience, quietly wielding power over men without them knowing it. A woman who might remind her of herself. Might go a long way towards winning her.
I am Long John Silver.
I mean, true. Yeah. You do not give him any
Resistance in the
help.
interior. I built it. I led it. It was mine. I don't care about a cause now. I don't care about Nassau now. I want one thing, and one thing only.
What is that?
They all turned on me. Discarded what I'd done for them, the sacrifices I'd made, and left me for dead. And I want them all to pay for it.
No, boy, we can't do that.
God. Yeah, of course it is.
They are strong when Flint and Silver are united.
You're not gonna separate them in 3 episodes.
Separate the two of them. Turn them one against the other.
You cannot do that in 3 episodes.
I tried once and failed. But I didn't possess the instrument necessary to make it work.
Thomas.
And you possess it now.
How does he know
How would
this?
he know?
They're opening
should-
something. What are they opening? Who are they? What am
You
I?
do.
No.
Oh!
Oh, is that Maddie?
Yeah.
Oh.
What did I think, Thomas?
I said Thomas, but like.
But I thought
you
I
reacted and
thought
then
Thomas as
immediately
well.
thought it was Thomas.
How did I think Thomas
Oh my
before
God.
Maddie? I'll wait myself.
There is no business of Nassau's that has not been business of mine for some time. And aside from the interference of Woods Rogers and his men, my business has been sound.
It's interesting.
When Richard was a little boy, there was a tomcat that lived out in the woods behind the house. Richard, all of 4 years old, would go outside, still in his nightshirt, and feed it. My husband disapproved. He thought it a sign of weakness.
Well, I wonder how your son ended up the way that he did.
Given that kindness is a condition rare in our family, I suppose it's unsurprising that it went misdiagnosed. So Richard would feed the tomcat. Joseph would flog him for disobeying, kick the tomcat for instigating. But the next night the tomcat would return, and on and on and on it went. That would seem to be the history of Nassau too, wouldn't it? A cycle of violence that benefits none and consumes all. I suppose the question is, in Nassau's story, which of these roles do you play?
There are entries for your wage labourers here, but I see no accounting for the others.
I have no other labourers.
They're all slaves.
I own no slaves, and none work in my employ.
In the Bahamas. And you pay wages for all of that. It doesn't seem very wise to me.
You are not from Nassau. In Nassau, slaves have seen too many of their own find freedom amongst the crews on the account. It costs less to pay wages than to replace defectors, or worse yet, to pay guards to watch my door as I sleep.
That isn't the only reason, though, is it?
No, it is not. In my life I have been bought and sold, and as I would be no slave again, nor would I be a master.
So how exactly does one rise from a slave plantation in the French West Indies to a library in Philadelphia trying to remake the world?
What difference does it make? Many men have played a role in Nassau's story, but none have been able to break the cycle of brutality and failure.
Many men.
Your granddaughter came as close as anyone before or since. But at the end of the day, and despite her best intentions, there was one truth even she was unable to see. That at some point, progress cannot begin, and suffering will not end, until someone has the courage to go out into the woods and drown the damned cat. Lend us your help, and we will do whatever must be done to move Nassau forward.
What will you do when the cat fights back?
They just arrived from Nassau.
I can't believe what is happening right now.
She's alive.
Held hostage by the governor in Nassau.
Fuck.
Oh God.
Unless we bring him the cash and surrender it to him by his deadline, she dies. She's alive.
God.
Who else knows about this?
No one. I summoned only the two of you.
This is our...
My daughter is everything to me, as I believe she's to you. But that cash is critical to the success of the war we're about to begin. And worse yet, if it were to be dug out of the ground under cover of night, it would do irreparable damage to our allies' trust in us.
So we don't do it under the cover of night. We make the argument. This isn't just sentiment. Marty is important to the cause in her own right. It doesn't matter if some of them agree.
Yeah.
You're suggesting we just refuse? They'll kill her. If we even introduce this question to the men in this camp, lines will be drawn. Fighting will ensue. This alliance is far too fragile at this stage to withstand that kind of turmoil.
What does this woman do?
Yeah,
Pay the ransom or we can have
fascinating,
more.
honestly.
But we cannot have both.
The thing is, I can see that she's also thinking it.
You were willing to trade this money for a fucking fort. And now it's too important to trade for Marty's life? Things have changed. Nothing has changed that justifies trading her life for your war.
No one is saying that we let her die.
No? Because that is certainly what it sounds like.
We will find a way to get her back. We just cannot sacrifice the cash in order to do it.
Is this war more important than her life? Answer the question. I want to hear you say it. Is this war more important than her life?
Yes, it is more important.
Oh, fuck you!
I cannot permit Woods Rogers to divide us like this. I will not permit it. Marty would not permit it, and you know it. But we're not going to permit him to kill her either.
You cannot guarantee that
We will sail to Nassau under cover of night. We will find her. We will kill anyone who stands in our way, and we will bring her home.
God, he's toxic.
When you and I are of the same mind.
Fucking so much certainty that I'm like, yes, you can absolutely do that.
We have not yet been able to do.
Let's go, my boys.
I believe that.
Like when he says, like, is the war more important than Maddie? The war for what they're fighting is more important than any singular person.
Yeah. Not only that, but like, we talk.
Yeah. My girl.
It would be more important to her.
That's what I mean. She would not, like, knowing that position that she is put in. And everything that is at stake.
This is exactly also
like her own mother, who is not immediately being like, let's go and get her.
That's why she brought the two of them. That's why she says she's everything to me,
That's
she's
what I
everything
mean.
to her, but like that's why I brought him as well.
Like if she is also thinking,
Yeah.
then you understand everything that is at stake. Because like,
But
who
like she
wouldn't
lived
want
through
to?
it. She's
Of course.
I've heard you were with her. But then,
she's gonna destroy him right now.
how did she die?
By a Spanish soldier that you brought.
Weapons were found inside the house.
I mean, she bled out.
Yeah, but like Spanish soldier.
Yeah, the Spanish. Yeah, she did.
When this is true, you'll present this to your people and advocate to accept them. Every fugitive slave in your camp will receive their immediate emancipation. With one condition. Any escaped slave who seeks refuge with you after the ratification of this deal will be surrendered to the law.
No.
And any pirate at any time who seeks refuge with you will be surrendered to the law.
There's something about using the word seek refuge. Seek refuge. Surrender to the law.
I will see to it that every man, woman, and child in that camp is put back into chains. I will see each of them sold far and wide, cast out into the world alone, and then I will burn everything that remains to the ground.
That's what I can see.
How can something come out
From
of
here,
anybody's
your
mouth?
outcomes are bad or worse. That's what defeat looks like.
I will strangle him with my own two fucking hands, my girl. Again, the choice of using the word seek refuge, not come and like fight with you, like seek fucking refuge. You give them over to us.
I'm just waiting
the
for she's gonna tell
evil.
him. Wait.
Eleanor died fighting. As will I.
That's why you're sisters.
You're saying you're heading south, and I'm to stay here.
Is that Anne? Anne.
Yeah.
I'll get a straight answer past that.
I need a doctor.
Sit down.
Oh, they're separating.
Madam Guthrie, everything we want for Nassau.
Control. A stake.
And Flint and John don't even know.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it.
There's now a real path to have it done.
There is, John, even if he knew that nothing
There's
changes for him.
one final test to prove our worth and to lessen the risk on her end.
Leave someone here?
What is it?
Flint.
What?
She wants him dead, and she wants me to do it.
Jesus.
You know when we send where we send people to pretend that they're dead when
Yeah.
they're actually not dead?
had nothing till all the West Indies were ablaze. Without him, the prospects of success in Nassau.
Then they're gonna unite.
I feel like they're just gonna end it and leave us to think.
It's not as if he wouldn't do the same to me with the roles reversed.
Even if you could do all those things, then how could you be someone who would do that? The world would know that you were the one to betray every last one of our brothers. Betray the memory of Charles Vane.
Charles Vane is dead. I do it for us. That's how it started. That's how it's going to end.
We should be going.
Oh, so that's how it started. It's going to end.
Babies.
What a fucking relationship.
They're not killing James, just Flint. Let me just tell
But
you.
God, again we're on different opposite ends and it's the same thing. Oh, it's like about building this thing in Nassau or fighting the fight with everyone and everything and like how. What a fucking relationship. Is this the end of them? Like,
What do you mean?
No, because like there's only 3 more episodes. You know what I mean? Like she's here getting.
That's fine. They're gonna be separate for 3 episodes, but they're gonna reunite in the end.
But are we gonna see that?
Yeah, 100%.
Take care of her. You're saying as well. We're definitely gonna pretend that he is dead.
100%. But I do now believe that because like nobody's thinking. He's not thinking that Thomas maybe is alive. They're gonna just send him
Yeah,
there.
that's what I mean. He's not even gonna tell him.
Yeah, exactly. They're just gonna send him there, and then I maybe think there is a possibility of the reunion.
Without paying the governor his ransom.
He is confident in his plan. As am I.
One of you is more confident than the other, I think.
Sure, stop playing the devil on his shoulder, please.
No.
You say.
It's a precarious situation. I don't want to tell you.
You're confident in his plan. Maybe because it's a good plan. Maybe because it's the only plan.
What's happening now?
But maybe it's just because if his plan don't succeed,
Oh yeah.
you'll have to show him that you're prepared for the failure.
Yeah, I believe that.
That the world ain't gonna be what he wanted. Not a treasure he wanted left in the ground. Ain't in the ground no more.
I can't even. It's just lying there.
And when that happens, the extreme reaction follows. It's one of 2 roads ahead. You're either gonna have to concede and let him have his way, or you're gonna have to kill him. You know this, don't you?
Everyone's fighting to kill Flint first.
My boy, as always, I am your shield. I will protect you from everybody, even your best friends.
Did Woods Rogers say like either you're long overdue or you cannot be killed, and you cannot be killed?
He
That's
cannot be
simply
killed.
it.
You know
he
why?
cannot be killed.
Because I've been going to the gym for 4 days a week. That's why he cannot be killed, you know?
Considering everyone coming at him, I'm standing in front of Flint now. I have stood in front of Vane.
Finally!
I have stood in front of John. John has become king. I don't need to stand in front of him anymore. I now stand in front of Flint and fucking try me, my boys. I love you two both so much. No. And it's not gonna happen.
One more than the other.
Neither of you is gonna get it. I'm saying I love you two boys, John and Jack. Trying to kill Flint.
Okay.
I'm like, who? Is there one more than
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hi guys, it's review.
Starting?
I mean, I am dressed differently.
I don't know.
Your hairstyle is different. I mean, you haven't washed it, so that's why it's different.
Didn't have to point that out. But okay.
I'm joking. Guys, I cannot believe that we did this. We unfortunately didn't have time the last time we watched the episode, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
We didn't have time to do a review, which I hate, because now we're gonna talk about the episode that we watched yesterday, and we're not gonna watch the next episode because today is not a filming day. Today is only filming day of this review because this episode is coming out today.
That's why I didn't wash my hair. I just want to. It was out of our control yesterday. Like we were supposed to film, but my friend got bitten by a tick that carries Lyme disease.
Really? That's the
name. Tick.
Tick. Shocking.
What did you think?
I don't know. I didn't know, but like somehow tick. Interesting. Are you sure?
Positive.
I'm gonna check that information.
Also, you know why I know it's tick.
I don't know.
It's tick. She got bitten by a tick apparently, and like it came back tested positive for Lyme's disease, and so she went to. Unexpectedly, she went to like a hospital that's near me, and then texted me when we finished the episode that like she's coming by, and so I mean we stopped filming.
So she's the one to blame.
Exactly, but she's fine. So far, she's fine. So hopefully it doesn't actually develop into anything. So yeah, that's why we didn't film yesterday.
And that's why now we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
And not watch the next episode.
Yeah.
Okay, Lola, you said that you're gonna be the one who is gonna lead this review.
I have never said that in my whole entire life.
Because I didn't
think about the episode.
And you went through it or whatever. You thought what happened, yeah. So, you know what I mean? Just lead the review.
I don't know what to tell you.
That is
I'm not sure.
That is how you lead the review?
No, I was like thinking that first, like it came to mind yesterday. And I was like thinking about where we left, about how dumb we are.
Why?
Well, because we were like, I think in the intro we were talking about how like, you know, Jack and Max are going towards Eleanor's grandmother and grandfather, and we're like, for some reason we were like, that's gonna be helpful to like Flint and John.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What I mean?
It never crossed my mind. It's gonna be helpful to Flint and John.
What do you mean? We were like thinking like, how are they gonna agree to help us when we're just pirates?
Not us, to Jack and Anne. Jack and Max actually, because they are the ones who want to go back to Nassau. Technically, it could be helpful to Flint and John if Flint and John wanted to go back to Nassau. But like, I never imagined Grandma sending his army next to the pirates.
I didn't think an army. I just think something that like is gonna put Woodes Rogers into a position where he would kind of have to retreat, and then like, you know, that could be helpful to our guys.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But like, considering they would technically buy out, let's say, Woodes Rogers in a way, and so like then they would own Nassau, and like thus Nassau again is under British rule, and everything is kind of goes back to being under the Guthries. I mean, or like you know, commanded by the Guthries. I was just dumb. I didn't take that in consideration.
No, me neither. But it's not. It's just that like I thought they were gonna help us get to Nassau. I didn't think of which exactly way they're gonna.
This now is gonna like go put Jack versus Flint.
No, me neither.
I didn't think this was about to be happening.
But like, who would have thought? Like, how can we get? Can we before watching the episode? How can we get?
Well, because conclusion? Like, what else could the Guthries offer them?
I mean, you know? I don't know. I didn't think that much. I thought just like they're gonna go to Nassau, help us get Nassau.
My whole
That's
point,
it.
We didn't think that much. Dumb.
Why would we? What do you mean? Why would we? We're not here to predict the whole show. We should enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's enough to think that they're gonna help us. In which way? Let's find out. You know?
No, I agree, but we always talk so much. It's like you would think that we could like.
Let me just tell you, I would never come to the conclusion. I would never in a million years come to the conclusion first that Grandpa is not the one in control, even though that's an interesting storyline, you know?
Yeah.
So first we're so dumb. Why didn't we think of that? Why didn't we think that like Grandma is the one running the business?
That part, I think we can't like.
Both are on the same level to me. I would have thought of both the same.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I just think like, at least in my mind, I was thinking whatever Jack and Max were gonna do is gonna be of benefit to our entire whole cause that involves John and Flint. And clearly, like, it cannot be. Because, like, whatever you're gonna ask for them, just like, again, continues Nassau being under the British rule, which is exactly the thing that we are fighting against, which is, like, civilization.
Yes.
So, like, those things are contradicting. And, like, somehow that didn't occur in my mind. And I feel like it should have occurred in my mind. That's just my point.
Yeah, I feel like nothing can help to John and Flint.
Nothing can what?
Can help John and Flint.
Fair.
I feel like they can't help each other. I feel like, yeah, that whole situation, we're gonna talk about that in this.
Like this, this episode went. We were all, let's say, united in the front, and then this episode ended with us having like, let's say now 3 sides kind of, and 2 sides technically need to get rid of Flint. You know, that's where we were at.
One side needs to get rid of Flint, because if the other side gets rid of Flint, then nothing works.
Well, yeah, but like the other side right now, I think, with the John, how this is the worst review we've done.
Because we watched yesterday.
That's what I mean. We need to talk immediately after we finish. John, right now, I think, is, let's say, seeing more of, let's say, kind of the dangers of Flint. Not the dangers of Flint. This is the thing that he has known, you know, like when Billy was telling him. Like, Billy was telling him at some episodes ago, basically, that, like, when does it end? Like, when do we stop this war? Flint is going to continue waging this war, and there's going to be no end to it. And the reason why John, let's say, still backed Flint is because Maddie was with Flint, you know, and that's where he wanted to be then. Now with Maddie technically being dead, but like they found out that she is alive, and they are wagering, let's say, her life against that war, then him and Flint are no longer on the same side, because John is not going to want to continue this war if it costs the life of Maddie. Because, like, again, everyone is doing things for very, very, very different reasonings, you know? For John, simply the way that he is looking at it is, let's say, you can say, like, a selfish nature. You can be like, he wants to protect his own. And I feel like in this type of a situation, it's very understandable. And it's like, I can't say that I would not go down that route as well. You know, I think it's very difficult to, like, just give up the person that you love, even if it's, like, for, let's say, a greater cause. But also this greater cause is run by someone as well that is never gonna stop to a point where, like, these things, they're fighting it on too big of a scale. He mentioned Boston. Now that shocked me when he mentioned Boston.
Yeah, let's just
go back.
Yeah. I agree. First, I want to say that, like, I really love that scene. I really love the scene when Queen brought both John and Flint. First, I want to say how much I love the Queen. I love and admire her. And that's one of the things that this show does the best. It shows you, again, we talked about it through the entire show, through Vane, through Eleanor, through Flint, through John, through everybody. Yeah. How much it shows you completely different points of view. And it's interesting because all 3 of those people come from different backgrounds, different lives. Different, not all 3, like the whole island right now. Yeah. You know, like all the people that are like maroons. Is that the name?
Marooned slaves, I think. Like what marooned.
I don't know what maroon means.
Okay, maroon means, is maroon the same as stranded?
Okay, so that's like a adjective.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maroon is.
I thought that's their name. You know?
No, like marooned.
Okay.
Adjective.
Okay.
You say maybe they're marooned.
I'm now going back through everything I said through the episodes because I thought that's like this.
Like a name.
Yes. See, that's dumb. You have to make a difference.
That's not dumb at all. That's just like English is not your first language. I mean, again, even if it was. Like,
I know, but like could have asked 10 episodes.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you just made an assumption to like think. It didn't take away anything from you talking.
Yeah, and I just loved that Queen knew who should she invite to talk about these things. Yeah. You know? What I want to say about that part with John is the fact that John is leading our pirates. But on that island, now we have so many different people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. But like just killing Flint is not going to get rid of the war or not going to get rid of the problem. Flint is not the only one who is leading this war.
No, that's true, but like...
At least not in my mind.
Again, people have to follow someone.
I know.
And having someone like Flint that is very easy to follow, the way that he speaks, like you are just like, again, throughout this entire show, like there's things that he says that I agree with, and then there's things that he says that I don't agree with. But anytime that he says it, I feel compelled to go with him because of the way that he says things, you know? And so, like, that's his power. That's the power that he holds over people.
I completely didn't have that feeling with Flint during this season. Like, in my mind, yes, but, like, he was a background. Like,
and that's what I wanted to say. That, like, I think because, like, let's say he was kind of in the background, let's say in a way not forgot, but like it was more of a background of the reasonings why he is doing things.
Okay.
And that it's still about revenge. It is still about waging war on civilization. And again, I do think the thing is, I do think that war needs to be fought. Like, you need to fight those wars all the fucking time against those powers that be. I really believe that. But there is a difference between, let's say, how he wants to do it, which maybe is, when he mentioned Boston, that was like, okay, have we lost it now? Like, how the fuck are we going towards Boston and continue, like, waging a war there as well? Like, we're all gonna die. Like, you cannot go. I thought, okay, let's start Nassau. Let's secure that. Like, unless I'm mistaking something, but like, he said fucking Boston.
But like, he said Boston because people, pirates from Massachusetts have come here.
Yeah.
So to me, it does make sense, the way they talked about everything.
Well, no, I'm just like, talked about, like, Boston is a much bigger, like, Nassau, you know what I mean? Like,
if was it back then?
I'm just like thinking Nassau is an island. You know, like, you can...
Nassau is the city on the island.
Yeah, but like, it's still an island. Boston is not an island. Like, it is connected to a fucking... It's part of a continent, okay. You know? And like, you cannot... How do you defend that? How do you start a war against that? Because like, I feel like the war on Nassau, winning that, it seems much more easy than going to Boston to do it.
I don't know, because like the way they talked about it in this episode, to me, and in the last episode, when Queen said the war that you wanted is starting, because pirates and slaves all over are starting to rebel. I didn't think just Nassau. Like, that has nothing to do with Flint. Yes, does Flint wants to take civilization on everything, and like, sure, but it has not. He is the leader. Maybe they could follow him. But it has nothing to do. Like, they would never want just Nassau.
No, I agree. Now, like, the thing is, let's say about approach. Like, someone mentioned in this episode, I don't know if it was Julius, I don't know if it was the Queen, I don't know if it was John, I can't remember who said it. But like, they were talking about, let's say, small steps over big steps, kind of. Because like, let's say smaller steps are maybe getting Nassau, ensuring that, making sure that can be like a safe harbor that they can defend, and then maybe working outwards, let's say. Because like, if you now just like go towards Boston, your chances of succeeding are, again, in my mind, unimaginable. And I thought like it was unimaginable at some points for Nassau as well. But like right now, I feel like maybe we can do something with that. But like now, if you want to go towards the bigger picture, and again, that's what, when Flint said Boston, I was like, oh yeah, he is maybe not of the soundest of minds. Not that he is like...
Okay, I didn't have that conclusion at all after...
Because I was like, he is just going full throttle. He is just I'm going full throttle against the civilization. Yeah. I'm going against it. And again, I feel like that approach could make it more dangerous. Okay. You know? Okay. And I don't know. Like, literally, what the show does and what I feel the show does...
I would have liked now to read more about it. Yeah. To read exactly what they wanted to do, because with the way it wasn't just Flint who was talking about. He was talking to many of the, let's say, main ones, of the ones that they were, I don't know, maybe I missed some sentences, but they were figuring like strategy. Like, there wasn't a single plan that was, let's go, let's do this. To me, it sounded okay with... there is 80 men on that maybe 100. We can send 400. We can take that. Okay, then after that, they talked to the guy and they talked about like 2,000 or something like that. To me, it sounded just that they were thinking of strategies of taking places just like Nassau.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it sounded to me. Like there wasn't a plan in concrete in mind, and it didn't sound to me like they were insane, and that like none of those plans, those plans were insane.
Yeah.
You know, like were unimaginable.
They might not be. I don't know. It's just like I felt in the moment, like where he said like Boston and going there and concentrating on that. And then everything seemed like, let's say, even on a bigger scale than what we have done.
But like
that
I expected
makes it to like paint a picture of like, yeah, Flint is never gonna stop. If we get Boston, then we're going to like towards New York. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna go there and there and there and there. And it's gonna be, like they said, it's gonna be a never-ending thing. And how, like, I'm having struggles with reality, like what is most realistic and like what should happen. You know, because like I want that war waged against these people, you know, the people that like run the world, that hold slaves, that hold everyone to unimaginable poverty. Like all those things should be fought, and they should be fought every single day. And then like what is the best approach to fighting those wars? Like how do you do it? Like do you just start small? Like do you just settle on Nassau and like fortify that, for that at least to be something, and then like maybe you can expand at that point? Or do you just like go full throttle against them? I don't know what to do with that. I don't know like what are the options there.
Yeah, because like in my opinion, when you said like Flint's never gonna stop, he shouldn't stop. That's his plan. Like his plan wasn't for him. Just like it's not like just a selfish goal at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like even if he is doing it out of anger or out of this or out of that, like there are people who want to fight that war for other people, for themselves, for, you know.
I mean, that's,
so in my
like that's Maddie's reasoning.
Maddie's reasoning, but not just Maddie's. Exactly, or like Queen said, like all pirates all over Massachusetts came, Maroons all over, I don't know, came. You know, like your war is starting, and they all came because they heard Nassau has fallen. Yeah. So like their cities are gonna fall as well.
But their cities have never been Nassau. You know what I mean? Their cities are under British rule. Like their cities are what Nassau is going to return to. When they say Nassau has fallen, it's what it has fallen towards. Like
it sounded like to me that like because of that they want to join the cause and fight for that.
Yes.
So
yes, but it's just like that's what I mean. I really think they should.
So I don't see the problem.
The problem is, how should they?
I mean, I'm not gonna think of that.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean, because like we are following Flint, and
but like it's not like he's the only one who is making this plan.
No. But like let's say he is one of the people at the forefront, you know, of all of this.
Sure.
And
so
like he is
Julius, so is the Queen, so is...
and like Julius is not agreeing with them.
That's
you
fine.
Know? Like but
Julius is not agreeing with them because Julius thinks that they couldn't be trusted.
Yeah.
Exactly, because like they haven't survived the same thing, which I agree with. They haven't survived, so they can change. Right now they're fighting together because they have the same enemy, but tomorrow it can change like this.
I mean, it's what he said. Like, what happens? Like, for example, when they do, like when all of them take over. Like, I think what did he say exactly? Basically, like, who do you think is at the end of the day still gonna be the ones that benefit, even when we do take over? Like, when they do take over, this is a group of pirates and a group of slaves. No offense to the pirates, but like those pirates are the same people. Yeah, I mean, this was ironic. Those are the same people that have carried and sold slaves back and forth. Yeah. And like when all of them come into the same place, like what is to say that they're not gonna again see black people and be like, oh, slaves to do our own bidding? Who's to say that? Like, why the fuck would you trust that? You know? That is a gamble put in front of people that have suffered tremendously on the hands of those people. What are they supposed to do with that? Like, I think it's the most understandable thing. And again, I think what the show does so well, and I think why it's like so difficult to let's say, review it in many ways is because, like, I don't think there's a single correct answer. Like, I think the show gives you multiple perspectives. There's not a single thing that they say this is the correct answer. You know, they just place it in front of you and, like, you handle it. Like, they have always done that, I feel. Like, they kind of give you, more so than any other show, they give you room to interpret it in the way that you want to interpret it, and that's gonna be based on how you see the world. You know? Like, they do that in, like, small things, as in, like, we're never gonna know if Flint let Billy go or he didn't. Like, that is gonna be a forever thing that's, like, you choose what you're gonna believe in that, you know?
Yeah, completely, I agree with that. And I think that, like, what this show does the best is give you completely different perspectives. And in my opinion, I personally agree with every single one of them.
I agree,
because, like, I see their point of view, you know? Like, I can just, like, let's say, I can admire Queen because she has the responsibility of this all people lie on her, like, the responsibility lie on her back. Yeah. And yet it's even worse than John's, because that's her fucking daughter in question. And yet she came here knowing the answer what to do with Maddie. That's the reason why she brought Flint and not just John, because she needed reason and she needed emotions. Yeah. And let's talk about it. I personally think, especially because she is the queen and she's responsible for these people. But also she has lived through it. Yeah. She has lived through all of it by being slave, by escaping, by living off from her husband who is sending her things, by protecting these people the best way that she knows how, you know?
I mean, and she knows the cost of
exactly. And with John, John has not lived through it. Mm-mm. John has no idea. Mm-mm. And to John, the cost of this war is never gonna be, even if in the reality, of course, it's worth Maddie's life.
Like, there's John, not a single fucking human that is like...
Exactly. But to John, personally...
Yeah, of course.
Maddie's life is much more important than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, I personally...
The most understandable thing.
Who have lived very comfortable life, you know? Like, if my partner would be in danger, and I know she is in danger just like that, you know, there is no cost of this world or humanity that is gonna be worthy to me. Yeah. That is gonna be more worthy than her life, honestly. Yeah. So, like, I completely understand that, but that's because of the life I have led. I was never in danger. I was never, you know.
Yeah, we're very privileged in a lot of ways.
Yeah. In some not, but in many others.
Yeah, I mean, like, in many ways we are. Yeah. Like, we can...
You are more privileged than me.
What does that mean? Where? How?
You can get married in your country.
Oh my god,
that's a bit
true.
more privileged than me.
Yeah, sorry. I was like thinking, you're also white. What do you mean? Sorry, I did not think. Yes, I am, like, legitimately, I am like a cis, straight, white woman.
So that's why I think, like, I personally would do the same as John, and I can completely see his point of view. Do I think it's correct one in a grand scheme of things? No, of course not. Like, of course, when Flint was talking, you know, he in this situation.
Like, this is a war fighting for all these people that have never been able to be free because of all these powers. Like, they're gonna tell me that any single life is more important than a war for, like, freedom. It is not. There is not a single fucking human that is worth all of that, you know? So, like, of course, you know, let's say you can say, yeah, it is. And, like, for John, it simply isn't. And I think that is completely understandable. Like, it seems like the one, like, a very human response from him. It's the response that I thought he was gonna have.
And I really loved the difference.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Every person who made their choice in this episode, I cannot say for anyone that, like, this is wrong or this is right, or, like...
Not this episode, throughout the entire show.
I think it was a very... the scene with, like, I'm jumping a bit, but the scene with, like, Max and Eleanor's grandmother, I checked where I know the woman from. I know from Succession. I know from Succession.
What did she play?
She is the wife of... sorry, I mean, she is not the wife, she's the ex-wife. She's the mother of the kids. But, like, that scene, for example, when she was, like, telling Max that story about, like, her son when he was a kid and he wanted to feed this, like, stray cat that was hungry. And his father kept beating him because, like, he is feeding the cat. So, like, basically, you know, helping the poor. And his father wanted to, like, beat that out of him. Like, kind of that kindness to beat that out of him. And, like, she was asking her what should have been done in that situation. I think that is very... Like, Max answered that question saying that basically someone had to take that damn cat into the woods and kill it. That would not be my response to the situation, you know? But, like, again, that... Giving you that story, I think everyone, when they heard it, was thinking of what would be the solution to it. And, like, for Max and who she was as a person, was sort of, like, quietly getting rid of those obstacles while not, how do I say it, like, her response was not punishing the husband for doing something like that. Like, I think she is realistic in the sense of, like, trying to do what you can with the situation that is given to you while not disrupting things too much, you know, just, like, trying to resolve the situation quietly, even though it does not change the fact that, like, you know, his father is abusive to him for being, like, a kind kid. You know, you would think that you should preserve that in any way you can. But, like, it just goes to show you the different perspectives that you get based on how you had to live. You know, I think that is a thing that the show does constantly, because I think everyone had a different maybe answer to what to do in the situation with the cat and the husband and the kid, you know. Yeah. And hers was the most realistic, her character. Yeah. And I'm sure, like, Flint,
somebody would
John,
say completely
who else would have had a different response.
Exactly.
I would have had a different response, you know. But just based on, like, how I lived my life.
That's such an interesting...
I really like that when they said it.
I loved how through a metaphor they gave you something about the character that, like, would only make sense to her and would only her response potentially be. Like, it wouldn't be for our other characters, and they wouldn't be, let's say, just like the way they have led life and they have fought for themselves through that life. Yeah.
I just think, like, it's like, for example, in many shows that you watch, you kind of, you know, when you're watching them, you look at what characters are gonna say to gouge out what the show wants to tell you. You know, like, what the show wants to tell you, as in it's, like, a right thing to say. Yeah. And, like, for this show, they don't give you that, you know, because I'm, like, thinking, I don't think so. You know, like, from my point of view, not that hers is, like, wrong, but I was, like, thinking the show is not trying to tell you what is right and what is wrong. It is just presenting you with all these points of view, and because, like, and telling you how difficult it is, because every fucking character to me in this show is incredibly understandable. Like, there's not a single one that isn't. Like, Billy, we had him also in this episode, and, like, he's doing things that are like, fucking Billy, why are we doing this? And, like, it makes sense why he's doing that. It makes sense how he came to this
Even
point.
though I would like to get this pillow right in...
I understand what you mean. I don't feel that way, you know. I don't feel that way. Again, I just understand where everyone is coming from, and I don't think there's been a point where you can, like, hate any of the characters, even when you don't agree with them. Like, I can hate Will Rogers. I'm like, that, and
I hated Ned. It was not Ned Stark, Ned, the guy from season 2.
Oh my god, okay, sure. Hated him. Is like a full-fledged fucking villain.
Yeah, that Vane killed for Eleanor. Let me just remind you of that part of it.
Yeah, but, like, for everyone else, again, I just think all of their stories are so complex and so different, and, like, you can agree and disagree, and just, like, it is their perspective. And, like, I don't think we had that
I just think
in
you
many
can,
shows that we have watched.
I don't remember. I mean, there are some shows where you can see different points of view, but, like, I don't think, let's say, The 100, I call it by its name, triggered. But yeah, let's say they had so many different points of view, but I don't think it has been ever this well done
Yeah, no.
That you can completely understand. Like I don't even try anymore to be on anybody's side because there are no sides. You know what I mean? Like you do understand why that character is doing what they are doing. And like you can be mad because that makes sense for them. It would not make sense to do anything else.
No.
You know what I mean? So
you
like
had like 3, let's say, storylines. John wants to protect a person that he loves. Understandable. You have Julius, who is like thinking, let's fucking secure this place that we have for however long we can secure it because I want to live freely and we can secure it for as long as we can. But understandable. Time, and then the queen is like, we need to fight against these powers that be.
Especially because she has lived through what Julius wants. Julius has never had that. He's fighting for what she had.
Yeah.
You know, and she knows that what she had was always just temporary. She lived with fear every single day, you know, of who's to come. And when they come one day, are they all gonna get captured again, you know?
But he was a slave until like 3 days ago.
Exactly. So for
he
him,
just values this freedom immediately right now.
Exactly.
And that's the most understandable thing as well. And so like all of them are giving their perspective and like I can only shut up.
And there... Exactly. And there is my boy Flint, who is there to fight, you know, like he's there to lead
like
this.
that is a selfish thing that he is doing because like he is fighting for his want of getting revenge, you know, on civilization for what they have taken from him. You know, I think that is still a very selfish thing from him. I think that is still his motivation.
No, that's fine. It's just that like that's also a good reason to, in my opinion.
What do you mean?
Fighting for somebody has it's it is maybe started from revenge. It is motive, but it's okay.
I mean, considering like he is fighting against something that should be fought, like it's a good thing that he is, let's say, on our side, that he is channeling that anger, that is something that is beneficial for everyone else, for them to fight against. Like this is something they should fight against.
Because that civilization took that from him, but like also has taken that from many other people.
I agree. It's just like when you are motivated by that and you're going by revenge, that then clouds your judgment, let's say, in some ways about like when you should do some things. Like would it be the right thing to like go full throttle right now?
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like you are gonna your judgment is gonna get clouded because of what you are led by. Because like when you are led by anger, then you're just gonna want to continuously fight. When you are led by, again, I think the healthiest people that are being led by are like the Queen and Maddie, you know, like what is leading them to this fight is the love that they have for their people and for people who have suffered and been like imprisoned, and that's what they want to fight. But like because they are being led by that, you know, they could at some point maybe stop when it seems like they can achieve something, let's say, and bring some people peace and freedom, whereas Flint at no point would he stop because he is being led by something completely differently. And
I mean, he wants to stop the civilization.
That's what I mean. So like the civilization doesn't just like end at Boston. You know?
I still think it's a good cause. I don't know how to explain that.
No, I mean that's what we don't.
Yes, sure. They can stop when 2 towns are free, but like so many are not.
I mean, again, I completely agree with you. It's just like how do we? That is a constant thing. I think those are the battles that you fight every single day. But the thing is,
maybe if they could have freed Nassau, but like the thing was always for the word to spread. Yeah. Like when he talked to the Queen for the first time, he said that like it's gonna spread, and when somebody hear that like these maroon slaves had freed, others are gonna be willing to fight.
Yeah.
So like in my opinion, that was the plan from the start. To not stop until they're all free.
Yeah, again, I think you should not stop, but I think this is like a continuous battle that technically never ends. You know, that you always fight it.
That's true.
And maybe you fight it on smaller scales for it to be sustainable. And like you change it step by step, bit by bit. And like it's not going to be like in a month's time, the world is going to be a different place, you know?
I understand.
And so like that is my only problem. But like, again, I think it is a fight that needs to happen. It needs to like
Yeah.
always keep
Yeah.
happening. Like
Yeah.
today, that is and you do it in different ways. You
Yeah.
know, like at this point they are doing it, you know, with war, and like sometimes here you also have to take violent steps towards that. You do what you can with where you're at, and that's what I mean. It's like there's no single right answer for anything here right now, at least in my fucking opinion.
No, I don't think so. And nor do I think that it's written to be.
No.
Honestly.
I mean, again, I feel like this is one of those shows where like someone you can comment how about like that you completely disagree with us and give me a completely different point of view, and I can be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That also
works.
works.
I just think you can maybe sympathize with some characters more and with their situations or things like that. You can enjoy some characters more, but like if you would like to look at the story for what it wants to tell, I don't think the show is painting anybody or anybody's opinions as the right ones.
Yeah.
Or anybody's opinions as the wrong ones. It's just their point of view in the life because of the life that they had, you know.
Yeah, and so like again, it makes sense for like the general audience falling in line with someone else just because of their like specific point of view. You know? It just makes sense.
Not all of us have also led the same lives, you know.
No, and again, not all of us find the same things important.
Yeah.
You know, and so like that's just how you come to your conclusion.
Yeah.
Just like every fucking other show, everything is very subjective.
So yeah,
but like this show gives you more.
Yeah, I can understand why somebody would be so inspired with Max, let's say, you know, or Maddie, or the Queen, or Flint. Maybe it's better to be inspired with somebody who is not led by rage, but.
Maybe.
Bit healthier, but I'm where I am, you know what I mean?
But yeah, so like right now, John,
he took the goal.
They're going to like
God
save
knows what's
Maddie,
gonna
but
happen.
I don't know. Like I can't see anyone having the gold at this point. You know what I mean? Like I can't. Like where are we gonna go with the gold?
Like I said, I think we should stop pretending like we're writers and like we can
that's
predict
what I mean. I just don't know
the
what's
show. We have
here.
not predicted almost anything except Eleanor dying, except Wayne dying, and hopefully we're gonna predict Governor dying. I mean the Woods Rogers dying.
And hopefully we're gonna predict Flint not dying because like they're trying hard.
That's 100%.
They're trying hard
because
to get him.
Exactly. Jack wants to kill him. It's not that he wants. He doesn't want, but that's
the option that he has.
That he needs to do, let's say.
Can we just like talk about Jack?
Let's talk about Jack.
I love that scene with Anne. It seems like they're not gonna have a scene again in the show.
Really?
Does it not? Does
I'm
that
gonna
seem
kill
like the last
myself.
scene for them?
No.
Really?
No. Because it's dumb. I don't know how to say what word to use. I cannot imagine a relationship like that having the last scene in episode 6, 7, and it has 10. For what reason?
Well, because like he's gonna go to a different place and she's like recovering.
I
and
hate
everything.
that. Let me just tell you, I hate that. If they're not gonna have at least a reunion scene, like you never know what's gonna happen.
No,
then.
I never know, but I just feel like we do have 3 episodes, but there's so many things that need to happen in those 3 episodes. I feel like, you know,
I would love to have the last scene, you know, Flint somewhere, last scene of Flint, and
we can
with
see
Jack.
Yeah, we can see just like Jack and Nam being on a ship. You know what I mean?
For baby.
But like that's what I mean, like a conversation or something like that. I don't know, just like the way that they ended the scene, I'm like, okay, maybe like we're not gonna see them again together because it was such a nice.
I mean, we don't
it was
have
such a nice
to have,
way to leave it off.
We don't have to have a conversation
about like you know. It started with the 2 of us. That's how it's gonna end.
It's beautiful.
That was so fucking beautiful because, like, at that point, like he is coming there to technically to just like defeat Woods Rogers, like to get rid of him.
Yeah.
As again his own personal want of revenge against Woods Rogers, and then just like leave it be. Kind of choose him and Anne, and they're gonna go off somewhere doing God knows what. Like I don't know, but like that's at this point where he wanted to leave. I think he had I loved his scene with the girl who comes and is like asking him about all the greats, and like she mentions Blackbeard, that he has seen him, and then she mentions his name, and I felt very good about that when she like mentioned his name, and then she like went into it was such a reality check.
Literally.
It was such a good reality check when she started talking about like legitimately it sounds like it came out of like a fairy tale, like what's making a stew Like, for what reason? What purpose?
Actually
like,
makes sense for...
I mean, maybe.
I feel like Wayne took up his head and put it on a spike for everybody to see, for Eleanor.
Yeah.
Making a suit is nothing, you know? I feel like he would do
it's
it.
just very dramatic.
Yeah, it's very dramatic,
you know?
yeah.
And so,
but like those are the stories that they're gonna go through. Like
that's what
it's gonna go change by the mouth, you know, like one person gonna say something,
like,
the other
their stories are not even gonna be their own.
Yeah.
You know, like they're just gonna be, and so like when I really loved it when like she said that to him, and then in his mind he's like, all that I'm chasing throughout all this life is this legacy because of things that I'm gonna do and everything, and like
God knows what you're gonna be remembered by.
Like she is reading the papers, and like it's the same thing today with whatever you fucking read in the papers. It's gonna be a lot of those things are gonna be overly.
Yeah, he said stop reading the papers, open the book.
Yeah.
Do you know what stories can be put in the books?
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, maybe he meant like more as in, you know, like educate yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Educate yourself to not believe in.
I don't read those types of books, you know. The only types of books that I read, people would actually make us do.
Absolutely. But it was such a good moment for him to, who again, he's always gone on and on about his legacy, and just like to see that like
reality check
where those stories are gonna fall and how they're gonna be told, and how like at the end of the day, like it's kind of out of your hands in a way. And I think again, the only legacies you should be like concerned about having is the people that are close to you and how they're gonna remember you. Like exactly. Everyone fucking else and what they think about you is fodder. Like it makes zero difference.
I agree.
And so like it was such a I really enjoyed that moment. That was such a good fucking moment. And so like he has to go and kill Flint because like Flint is, let's say, the only thing kind of standing in the way of them being able to restore that rule in Nassau in a way, because Flint is going to be the one that is continuously wanting to wage that war, you know, in everyone's eyes. And so like Jack needs to get rid of Flint, and like it doesn't seem like the thing that he wants to do, because like first, who the fuck will want to go against Flint? You're gonna die. Like you're gonna, I don't know how he thinks he's about to survive this, you know. But that is the thing that he's gonna go do, and like realistically, that's not gonna be happening.
Of course,
that's not gonna be happening.
The reason why it's not gonna be happening is because Flint is gonna go. Flint is gonna be sent to a place where they send people who need to be dead and are not gonna be dead.
Exactly.
And Flint is gonna meet Thomas there.
Yes.
And that
I just don't know how everything's gonna transpire here, because it's gonna be like we're gonna have to have a head-to-head between Flint and John, you know, like our final fucking stands. Like how the fuck are we gonna send Flint to that? Like, is he just gonna tell him leave this war, just like fucking finish it, go here, maybe Thomas is here? Like how are we gonna take it?
Yeah, that's.
But like I saw the show, with everything else they have done, they're gonna leave it open in terms of like we're just gonna see him entering that place.
Okay, but like,
and like it's gonna leave you to think maybe he finds him, maybe Thomas is alive, maybe he doesn't, and that's where we're gonna leave it. You're never gonna know.
No, I disagree, because like, you always have your opinions, and I think it depends on if they send Flint and Flint has no doesn't think that he's gonna see Thomas there, then I think we're gonna see Thomas.
Okay, I understand what you mean.
If
he thinks he's gonna see it, then you're not.
It's gonna be an open story where I can choose to believe that he is gonna see Thomas.
I think there again.
So like if John is on the same side as Flint, and he's like, if John, Jack, and Flint talk at some point, and they know that Jack needs to kill him, and they make this whole plan or something, you know, and John is like, and Flint. I feel like Flint is ready to retire. At some point, he's going to be ready to retire, you know? There is going to have to be an end, you know? And I think it's going to happen in the show.
Yeah.
So I feel like if John tells him that he thinks that Thomas could have been sent there, Flint is going to go.
Leave, yeah.
And I think we're not going to see Thomas there.
I agree. Like, again, just like the way the show went for so many things, is just like leaving it up to the viewers. They would leave that up to you.
That's fine for me, because like I have a wild imagination. I already see them.
More important
on
in the wild, I have a kind imagination.
Exactly.
I don't understand people who like are giving two options. They choose like the more sad one.
I mean,
I'm not that person.
I am if it's the only realistic in my mind.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
but this is
completely can go either way.
That's what I mean. And if it can go either way,
it's going the way I want it to go, which is a nice way.
In every fucking universe.
You know, if they would do that for, let's say, Woods Rogers, I would imagine a knife at the end of it.
God, I can't Woods Rogers. I just wanna.
He found out in this episode that his wife is dead.
Not dead, pregnant.
That his wife was pregnant, that's what I'm saying. Was so happy to see him suffer even more, feel more guilt. He went to Maddie and asked her, did she die fighting? And she did die fighting.
But like, it made me mad that he asked that type of question. Because there's not a single fucking person that would have think that Eleanor did not go down fighting.
Yeah.
Eleanor, the way that she is, to not go down fighting, what type of a question is that?
Yeah.
I thought like maybe he was asking something else. Like
I thought the thing is I wanted Maddie to tell him your wife died from the hands of the Spanish army that you brought here. They are the ones who killed her.
Yeah.
And she tried to fight, but she couldn't fight them off.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted Maddie to say.
Would love that. I mean,
So
even though like he knows that, but like
no.
Stab it more.
Exactly.
Like twist the fucking knife.
I would be like, I'm joking. I'm not gonna say the sentence.
You're gonna go too far.
I was about to go too far.
I understand. That's just what he brings out in us. Fucking rage. I can't. Like I can't. I feel nothing towards him. I hope he suffers.
Yeah.
That's like the only person that I cannot muster any empathy
We have
towards.
only 3 more episodes. I know words.
No, we have not even spoken about anything in this episode. You know what I mean? Like Max's scene with Eleanor's grandmother. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much with about like the 2 women that are kind of controlling things from the sidelines. When it appears like every fucking man is the one making choices, like they're the ones in the background.
Yeah,
It makes so much sense that like she is Eleanor's grandmother.
No, it was such a good story. I love that like Jack was the one who when he saw who is running things, that he decided to bring Max.
He
understood the situation,
he
understood and
enough
loved,
emotional intelligence to know
but
that
like
that is going to be the thing
but
to
like
push him.
love that he saw Max for he sees Max for who she is.
Yeah,
you know? He understood what she was running.
But like when he started imitating her.
Yeah, that was fun.
God, with the French accent, he is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I really adore that bit with Max, Eleanor's grandmother. Again, just like the whole thing with the cat. I can't wait also
to see Max and Anne scene.
Yeah,
I think it's coming, especially after hearing what Anne said.
Maddie, like she told basically Woods Rogers offered her something. That like I don't know at this point, like are we gonna take that, considering we're not gonna I don't think we're gonna start the war with the entire civilization, so like are they gonna accept? But like, they can't accept it because Woods Rogers is about to be fucking gone from here, you know, when like Jack comes with this whole proposition.
Yes, I just don't know what's gonna happen.
Again, too many fucking variables.
That's what
too
I want
many
to say.
points of view.
Is she gonna be
Nothing
mad?
is
Maybe
correct,
they're gonna
nothing is
save her
incorrect.
first and like not give the gold. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Who's gonna come first? What's gonna, you know? So like I can't.
Nothing.
I can't talk about things like that because I can't predict things like that.
No, again, we know nothing. I don't think we understand anything. It's just what it is. These are my points of view. And I'm like, yeah, fair. And that's all I can tell you.
Everyone is valid.
Completely. Even Billy.
I mean, no. Is it understandable? Sure. Do I think his choice is good one? No.
Well, again, like he wants revenge now, and
Yeah,
like
and
so
he's
many of
going-
our characters are going by revenge as well.
Yeah.
He's just sounds fair with everyone else. He is also going for revenge.
But
until
I
the very
don't
end.
like Billy's choice. I'm going to say that. I
I
don't
mean,
hate Billy,
yeah.
but I don't like his choice.
Yeah.
Because it is led by... I understand it's completely led by a rage.
Yeah.
And hate, you know?
Yeah.
So I understand why he is doing what he is doing.
Yeah.
But it's very bad, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's expected, you know.
Yeah.
We know how he came to this.
Yeah. I mean, he's been betrayed.
Yeah.
But he's also the one who has done bad for so many people before that.
I mean, yes, I agree, but like he is also the one that has stood by as Flint has done so many bad things to so many fucking other people as well, and you know, like, and now he wants to betray Flint, like, of course.
Yeah, but this is not just betraying Flint. This is not gonna affect only Flint.
Yeah, of course.
That's that's just the
completely.
That's why that's the only reason why I don't like what he's doing.
Yeah.
If it was just gonna affect Flint, you know, then I would be fine, of course.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but we don't have the time. We talked for an hour.
What do you mean we don't have time? We talked for an hour. What more to talk about?
It was that an episode where I feel like so many things have actually happened, but like I can't.
Let me just tell you, she ran this review. And after an hour, she was like, we didn't talk about that.
Like, I feel like we said nothing.
No, we talked.
That's what I mean.
That's
sometimes
the thing, because like I don't...
but I don't feel like we said anything.
I disagree, because like I actually like this type of review, just because like I don't like the reviews where we just tell what happened. Yeah. You know, in this review, we talked more of the perspective of the show and what we think the show has done right.
Yeah.
Which is everything. Which is absolutely everything.
There's not one single thing they have done.
Exactly.
That's
okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you very soon. Bye.